Jake Morrison felt like he was swimming up from the bottom of a deep, dark ocean. His body was cold and stiff. His mind was foggy. The cryosleep was ending, but something felt wrong. Very wrong. The pod around him hissed as it opened. Cold air hit his face. Jake tried to move his arms, but they were weak and shaky. He had done this before, 3 times during the journey to their new home planet. But this time was different. "Captain Morrison, can you hear me?" The voice was Aria, the ship's computer. She sounded worried. Jake tried to speak, but only a rough whisper came out. "How long?" "Captain, I need you to stay calm. There has been a problem." Jake's heart started beating faster. He forced himself to sit up in the pod. Around him, other pods were opening too. He could hear people coughing and gasping as they woke up. "Area. How long were we asleep?" The computer was quiet for a long moment. 870,000 years, Captain." Jake thought he heard wrong. "Say that again." 870,000 years, 3 months, and 12 days. The words hit Jake like a punch to the stomach. He looked around the cryo bay. Other people were sitting up in their pods, looking confused and scared. Dr. Lisa Carter was in the pod next to his. She was a smart woman, the chief scientist on the ship. She looked at Jake with wide eyes. "Did I hear that right?" Lisa asked. Her voice was shaky. "I'm afraid so, Dr. Carter," Aria said. "We have experienced a temporal anomaly. What should have been a 50-year journey has become much longer. More people were waking up now." Commander Ryan Phillips stumbled out of his pod. He was the military man on the ship, tough and strong, but right now he looked sick and confused. "This is impossible," Ryan said. "The ship's systems couldn't keep us alive for that long." "The cryosystems were designed for 100 years maximum," Aria explained. "But the temporal field around the ship slowed time for us. While nearly 1,000,000 years passed in normal space, only months passed for us." Dr. Amy Watson, the alien life expert, was awake now too. She was checking her equipment with shaking hands. "The readings are all wrong," she said. "The star charts, the navigation data, everything is different." Jake forced himself to stand. His legs felt like rubber, but he had to be strong. He was the captain. These people needed him to be calm and in control. "Aria, what happened to us?" he asked. "We encountered a pulsar, Captain. The ship's records show we passed near it during year 47 of the journey." The gravitational field was much stronger than expected. It created a time bubble around our ship. Lisa was looking at her tablet computer. Her face was pale. "Captain, look at this. The energy readings from outside the ship. There are massive structures out there. Artificial structures." Jake walked over to the main screen. What he saw made his blood run cold. Where there should have been empty space, there were huge metal objects. They were bigger than cities. Some were spinning slowly. Others had lights moving across their surfaces. "Those aren't natural," Amy said. She was standing behind them now. "Someone built those things." "But who?" Ryan asked. "Earth didn't have technology like that when we left." Aria spoke again. "Captain, I am detecting radio signals. Multiple sources. The patterns suggest intelligent communication, but the languages are unknown." Jake felt the world spinning around him. They had left Earth in 2157. Their new planet, Kepler 442b, was supposed to be empty. Just rocks and water and simple life. Now they were in a time so far in the future that everything had changed. "How many people are awake?" Jake asked Aria. 47. "Crew members are conscious, the rest are still in cryosleep. I recommend we wake them slowly to avoid panic." But it was too late for that. Jake could hear shouting from other parts of the ship. People were scared. Some were crying. Others were angry. "This can't be real," someone yelled. "Wake me up from this nightmare." Jake knew he had to act fast. He activated the ship's communication system. "Attention all crew. This is Captain Morrison. I know you're scared and confused. I am too, but we need to stay calm and work together." "You're lying," a voice shouted back. "You knew this would happen." "I didn't know," Jake said. "None of us knew, but we're alive, and we're together. That's what matters now." Lisa was still studying the readings. Captain, I'm detecting something else. The structures out there, they're not just built objects. They're producing energy. Lots of it. More than our entire ship uses. What kind of energy? Jake asked. I don't know, it's like nothing in our databases. Amy was looking at different screens. Captain, there's something else. I'm seeing movement. Ships, I think. They're heading toward us. Jake felt his heart skip. How long until they reach us? At their current speed, about 6 hours. Ryan was checking the ship's weapon systems. Captain, our defenses are minimal. If they're hostile, we don't stand a chance. Jake looked around at his crew. They were smart, brave people, but they were also scared and lost. They had gone to sleep in one universe and woken up in another. Area, can you tell if the approaching ships are friendly? Unknown, Captain. Their technology is far beyond our ability to analyze. Jake made a decision. We're going to assume they're curious, not hostile. Amy, I want you to prepare a first contact package. Basic math, pictures of Earth, our mission data. Captain, Lisa said, what if they don't want to talk? What if they see us as a threat? Jake looked at the massive structures on the screen. Whatever civilization built those things had power beyond his imagination. If they wanted to destroy one small human ship, they could do it easily. Then we hope they're smarter than we are, Jake said. And we hope they remember what it was like to be curious about the universe. The crew was gathering around them now. 50,000 people were still asleep, trusting their leaders to keep them safe. Jake Morrison had been a ship captain for 20 years before the mission. He had faced storms and pirates and equipment failures, but he had never faced anything like this. People, he said to his crew, we're about to meet our new neighbors. Let's make a good first impression. Outside the ship, the alien vessels continued their approach. And deep in space, ancient eyes watched the small human ship with something that might have been amusement. The alien ships were beautiful and terrifying at the same time. They looked like they were made of liquid metal that flowed and changed shape as they moved. The smallest one was 10 times bigger than the New Horizon. The largest was the size of a small moon. Jake Morrison stood on the bridge watching the ships approach. His hands were sweating, but he kept his voice steady. Amy, are you ready with the first contact package? Dr. Amy Watson nodded. She had worked for 3 hours to prepare messages for the aliens. Simple math, pictures of Earth, and basic information about humanity. Ready, Captain, but I don't know if they'll understand any of it. Arya, any change in their approach? Jake asked. No, Captain. They are maintaining steady speed. No weapons detected, but their technology is so advanced I may not recognize their weapons.